Hi there, Roger Burnley here with another video for you. Today I'm going to talk about some issues that have come up, and a lot of people have asked about this. It's like, what is the problem with imitating other singers? Where there can be many problems with that. Okay, first of all, I want you to understand something. Yes, you're going to use other singers to learn songs, especially if you do not have, at this point, your own material. So you're going to listen to them to learn your songs. I did the same thing. That's how we all learn material. But you have to keep in mind the first most important thing for you is to first develop your voice. And when I talk about developing your voice, that means using it correctly, developing and implementing the correct techniques and the way that you're producing the sound that's not going to cause damage to your voice. Then when you go and hear and listen to other singers and try to learn their songs, or if you have to do a cover song or whatever it might be, you're not going to have a tendency to pick up their particular habits, which may or may not be good for your voice. Let me explain to you one little thing, and this has happened to me many years ago. I was working with a client, and this client was 12 years old, and who has now become quite famous and was really great. But at 12 years old, I couldn't understand why she had no voice. Her voice was, I could hear all the talent there, but the problem was she had developed habits in the way that she was singing that would cause her to always lose her voice. And what I started to find out was that what she did was she loved Whitney Houston. And Whitney put out some really great stuff. Again, this is many years ago. Unfortunately, you know, Whitney's had some problems with her voice, but besides that, she had some really great material, and a lot of people covered her stuff. But Whitney also sang with this very powerful kind of voice, and many people would try to create that. And as they did it, they created certain techniques that were bad for their individual voice. Now, with other people, it may have worked for them. But, you know, that was just luck of the draw, if you will. That's not always the case. Again, this is why it's much more important for you to develop not perfect, but great technique in your own voice first. And then you're not going to have that tendency. Let me just play a little bit here of a song that Whitney did. I remember this so well. You hear that? I'm every woman. And so most people, and I remember this so vividly, the way that this young singer was creating that sound is that she would go, ah! She would try to push up to try to get that sound over and over again, to get that really strong chest sound in there. And so what I had to start doing is getting her to create that in a different way. And again, this problem it developed because all she was doing in the beginning was trying to imitate this other singer. And again, you know, you're always trying to develop your voice. You're not trying to sound like anyone else because your voice is unique. Everybody has this incredibly unique voice when they use it correctly. If you're sounding exactly like someone else, you're probably not using your voice to its fullest potential, or you're not using it correctly. But again, I just want you to hear a little bit of this chorus, and I'm going to show you what I did to try to get her to start to change, and then she started to be able to create the same sound, but in a different way that didn't end up harming her voice in the long run. I'm pulling it down instead of pushing into it. And it was a great song to use to start to develop that. Here it is again. You see? And so you can try this on a lot of things you're working with, especially if you've had the habit of trying to push in to develop things. So it's just that release and pulling down on the sound. Little trick that you can start to use. But again, the most important thing for you to take away from this is work on developing your technique, getting your voice out there first, and your voice is beautiful. Everybody judges the sound of their own voice, which is a lot of times why you try to sound like someone else, and that your sound is not great yet because you have not fully developed it. That's the only reason. So I hope this video helps you. And if you would like more of these free videos or more information about my complete singing program, please visit the link below this video. And I'll see you soon.